Good morning, everyone. Here's your Eastern Idaho weather and hazard briefing for Wednesday, October 28th. High pressure building across much of the west over the next several days. That's pretty much keeping our weather on the benign side, if you want to look at it that way. That's bringing some warmer temperatures, dry conditions our direction. There'll be a brief setback in the pattern Friday into Halloween, but it's not going to last very long, and no major switch in the weather coming during that brief amount of time. There'll be a little bit of wind as a storm system passes along the divide, maybe a few showers up into Lemhi County, especially up towards Lost Trail Pass. And then for anybody out and about on Saturday evening, it'll be chilly. Not as chilly as we've seen in some years past, but, definitely be bundled up if you're going to be outside. Right now, high pressure over the central portions of the Pacific Ocean, and that ridge is going to shift over us a couple of different times over the period, and that's going to bring some changes our way, like I said, by the time we get to that Friday into Saturday time frame. You'll notice here on our forecast, we've got that big low across the southern Rockies moving into the southern plains. A lot of rain, even some winter precipitation, freezing rain, sleet, and snow on the cold side of that. Hurricane Zeta making its way towards Louisiana, the Louisiana coast, Mississippi, Alabama, that direction. That low emerges into the plains, but you'll notice across our part of the country, high pressure trying to build in. It's the first round of high pressure is going to not get as strong as it will for the early part of next week. There's that storm crossing the divide, clipping the divide into Friday, producing those gusty winds and those brief period of showers across Lemhi County. As that deepens into the eastern half of the U.S., there's our high-pressure ridge building in for the end of the weekend, into the early part of next week. We'll have to see how things go in terms of the inversions, how that's going to play with especially the overnight lows, and also looking at any issues with air pollution coming under the ridge. But that's a few days out. By the time we get to about a week from now, that ridge starts shifting east, and then we're going to see the flow coming in generally straight off the Pacific. Maybe the middle and end part of next week, we might see some precipitation returning to our neck of the woods. But otherwise, like we said, not much going on. Temperatures for today starting to climb a bit. We'll be in the 40s and 50s in the lower elevations. Some places in the valleys might even approach 60 degrees this afternoon. For tomorrow morning, it's going to still be chilly, so time of year, you got to bundle up in the morning. Definitely got to have a little bit of heavier coat or jacket in the morning. In the afternoon hours, it'll be nice and a little bit more warm each day, and you may not need a jacket by then. Just depends on how your body reacts this time of year. Temperatures are warming up a few degrees on Thursday. Friday, still pretty chilly in the morning. Afternoon temperatures, some more 60s cropping up in the lower elevations. And looking at those wind gusts with that little system passing by, during the morning hours, we're going to see some gap winds along 84 and 86 gusting around 15 to 25 miles per hour. Also at mid and upper elevations across the central mountains. By the time we get into the afternoon hours, the central mountains seeing some gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. Once you get into the Snake Plain, those winds hold off until late afternoon and the early evening hours, running about 25 to 30. Still, some places in the central mountains, 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts, but those winds quickly die down once the sun goes down on Friday. If we're going into Saturday, still warmer across the board. Like we said, just a little bit of a setback on those afternoon and evening temperatures on Saturday, and then we start warming up again as we go into the early part of next week before the pattern starts to change across the entire western half of the country. So once again, high pressure builds, warmer, drier weather headed our way. That little bit of a setback Friday into Halloween across our region. Otherwise, everyone have a safe day. Stay safe out there, everyone.